Good morning and welcome to the Talking Apron. So glad that you're here. Today we're going to be talking about the onion. Onions. How do we use them? Why do we use them? And what nutritional benefits they have? Well, they're versatile, they're flavorful, and they're very, very nutritious. So before we jump right in, I want you to go ahead and go grab your cuppa, settle in, learn a little something, find out how you can use the onion, and all about the nutritional benefits of the onion. So first off, they're low in calories. They have approximately 44 calories for one medium onion. They have a lot of vitamin C, B6, folate, and potassium. They're high in antioxidants, which is great, especially, I can never pronounce this, quercetin, and it has those anti-inflammatory effects that we need because the food we eat right now, sometimes it does damage to us. And then it has prebiotics, which is awesome for supporting our gut. Now, the health benefits. Why would we want to eat onions? Well, they improve our heart health by helping us to lower our cholesterol. Then they aid in lowering blood pressure. Also helps us to regulate our blood sugar levels, which is important for some of us, like myself, living with diabetes. And it also helps to promote and support immune function, and as I said a little bit ago, some gut health. So what kind of onions are there? Yellow onions, Vidalia onions, or sweet onions, red onions, white onions, and green onions. Then you have the mini onions, the pearl onions. Then you can have some shallots. So a lot of different variety of onions that we can choose from when we are preparing our meals. Now, the second part of this podcast, I should have started that out, is stir fries. That's really what we're talking about and why they're such a healthy option for anyone. They're quick and efficient. Basically, you prep your food, you put it in the pan, you don't have to wait long to bake it. And they're really, really great for busy schedules. And that high heat and how you cook it, it retains the nutrients that we want, and that's due to the shorter cooking times. Now, we can add whatever vegetables we want, starting with an onion. We can add the proteins, we can add the seasonings, we can add different fats, all according to what our dietary requirements are. Now, stir fries also support balanced meals because we add proteins and veggies and whole grain sides for our complete plate. All right, if you heard that beeping, my pump wants me to look at it. I'm looking at it. There we go. And we'll keep on going. So the other thing about stir fries is it's a low oil usage. That helps us keep calories in check and giving us those big flavors. So what kind of recipes can we use with stir fries? Well, let's start with a chicken recipe. Very easy. So grab a chicken breast, slice it really thin, slice your yellow onion, then you're going to be adding the vegetables you want, bell pepper, broccoli, carrots. You'll add in maybe a little bit of soy sauce, low sodium, ginger, maybe a little bit of garlic, and there you have it. Not a lot of ingredients necessary. So you go ahead and put the oil in your saute pan. Now make sure it's big enough so when all the vegetables are in, you can toss easily, because you don't want it to be in a real, I'll call it a narrow lid one, because then they'll end up being all over your counter and on the stove. So you're going to saute the onion in a very small amount of oil. First, get the heat high enough. And how you know that is when you put the oil in the pan and you heat it, the oil will start shimmering on top of the pan. You'll add your chicken, cooks it quick, just toss it. You're going to cook it through. Now remember, we still have the onions in there. Onions first, then the chicken. We're going to toss in the vegetables. Now, one of the things they say, the recipe that I'm following is it says to finish with the soy sauce, ginger, and garlic. Well, guess what? I like my garlic not raw. So once I put in the chicken, I'm going to stick the garlic in then the vegetables, so it gets a little bit more heat in it. Ta-da! That one is done. And what you can do is serve it over a healthy grain, whether it be brown rice, quinoa, teff, some bulgur, and there you have it. There's your first recipe. The second one, if you are a vegetarian or a vegan, we're going to go with tofu and a green onion stir fry. It's the same thing. You're going to be putting the ingredients first, so you prep them all ahead of time. You're going to cube up your firm tofu. You're going to take your green onions and you'll chop them. Then you're going to be adding other vegetables, snap peas, mushrooms, shredded cabbage. You'll add a little bit of sesame oil, maybe some tamari, some chili flakes, and those are the ingredients you need to have on hand. Same process. You're going to put the oil in the pan, in the sesame oil. You're going to put the tofu in first because you want to crisp it up. Let it sit there for a while. Don't take it off and turn it too quick. Let it sizzle there for a while so it gets nice and firm. Sometimes I use tongs to turn them over rather than a spatula, depending upon how big you make your pieces of tofu. Then you're going to be adding in those sliced green onions, snap peas, and the other vegetables, and you're going to keep stirring until the vegetables are tender. And then here you have another way to season with some tamari and some chili flakes. Then you can put them over a bed of cauliflower rice, something really high vegetable, nutrient dense, and I'll call it doesn't spike your blood sugar kind of meal. The last one I want to talk about in this little stir fry episode today is a beef and onion stir fry. And this one has garlic sauce. Now I put this out because the majority of you love garlic. Me, I don't eat it. It upsets my intestines and my stomach, and I end up breathing garlic for days, and nobody near me wants that. So I'll let you know what a recipe that I found for you. You're going to thinly slice your beef, and this is going to either be a sirloin or a flank steak. You're going to take your red onion, we're changing it up, slice up your red onion. Then you have some bok choy and zucchini, which are very high in water, but also nutrient dense, especially that bok choy has a little bit more calcium for you. Then your sauce is going to be the garlic, the ginger, and an oyster sauce. You're going to saute that red onion in a little bit of oil and put the garlic in at the same time. Then you're going to be adding the beef. You'll cook quickly, again, high heat. That's what stir fry is about, high heat. But you can't let this sit by itself. When it's on high heat, you want to be attending to your stir fries. So it's not set it and forget it. It's be right there and cook it because you're hungry and you're going to be eating it right away. So after the beef is cooking on that high heat, you're then going to be adding in those vegetables and the oyster sauce, cooking until the vegetables are again tender, crisp tender. And then you can serve them over a different type of whole grain noodle just to change up your week. All right, so how do we keep cooking with stir fries? Now, I already told you to start with that large pan, or if you have a wok, and that helps prevent overcrowding, which ends up steaming your ingredients. And you don't want to steam. You want to make sure the vegetables have room and that you can lightly toast. And you want to cook what you're cooking in stages. Like we said, the onions are first. Then if you're cooking carrots, you might put the carrots in next, then the chicken or the beef, because carrots are a little bit denser, or celery a little bit denser. You need more time to cook. Now, another tip is always have all your ingredients prepped ahead of time. Now, I hate using a lot of dishes, but I do anyway because I like having all my vegetables in bowls so I can just toss them in separately when I need to go. And these are really good because I can prep the night before. Maybe I'm making a salad and I'm going to be cutting up some vegetables. I might as well cut up some vegetables for the next day and store them so then my stir fry is ready to go. I mentioned before, high heat, and you keep stirring to avoid burning. Now, just to recap a little bit, onions aren't just for flavor, they're also for nutritional benefit. Change up your diet, add more onions into it, and it elevates those stir fries. It's kind of like the background flavor that's always there. Stir frying is quick, it's nutritious, and you can adapt according to the vegetables you love and that you have on hand. Now, if you are a repeat listener, I don't know if you know about my Facebook group called Health, Habits, and Hope. Again, it's a Facebook group, Health, Habits, and Hope, and I'll be putting the recipes in that group. So if you want to go ahead and join, I'll be doing recipes in 2 podcasts a month, and you can start learning how to cook more healthful there. And I'll put the link to the Facebook group in the description of the podcast. I thank you so much for listening. I welcome your tips and ideas, and good luck with the stir fries.